The brain is an incredibly complex organ, far more complicated than any other one in your body. Consisting of more than 100 billion neurons, your brain is estimated to be able to store 2.5 million gigabytes. That's 80 times more than the biggest SSD on the planet. The brain consists of three main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. The cerebrum is the biggest part of your brain and is divided into two parts. These parts are called hemispheres. The left hemisphere of the cerebrum is in charge of doing logical thinking, such as math, science, language, and analytic thought. On the contrary, the right hemisphere is used for things such as art, creativity, music, and intuition. Something odd about the cerebrum is that the left hemisphere controls the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere controls the left side of the body. On to the cerebellum. The cerebellum is under the cerebrum, in charge of keeping balance, posture, and muscle movements. It is also linked to the phrase muscle memory. Think of the brainstem as mail, sending and receiving signals. It receives nerve impulses from the spinal cord and sends out signals from the cerebrum. It is also in charge of controlling involuntary actions such as sleep, body temperature, heart rate, breathing, digestion, sneezing, coughing, vomiting, and swallowing. The brain can also be divided into lobes. We will be discussing the four lobes in the cerebrum. The frontal lobe causes behavior and emotions, and it also shapes your personality. It is also in charge of judgment, planning, and logical thinking. Speech, body movement, writing, intelligence, concentration, and self-awareness are also all jobs for the frontal lobe. The parietal lobe is in charge of language and words. It also interprets touch and temperature, and your motor skills and visual and spatial perception. The occipital lobe handles color, light, and movement. Last but not least is the temporal lobe, associated with hearing, memory, organization, and interpreting language. The brain weighs about 3 pounds and is made of about 65% fat. When you are conscious, you can generate nearly 23 watts of power. Relating to the respiratory and circulatory system, your brain gets 20% of the blood and oxygen that is in your body. As you can tell, the brain is pretty complicated, and you can do some pretty incredible things for such a small organ. It helps us to think, remember, and learn. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.